Hello everyone, I am Azrael Silver, and I want to do something a bit different for today's video. You see, today is the first day of exams at school, and I have no exams at all for grade 11. So, what I decided to do with my first day off was present to you something from school to commemorate all those who are currently doing exams and to commemorate me finally being done with school. What am I doing exactly? Well, it's simple. In case you were made unaware of this, I had both grade 12 religion and philosophy as two of the 4 courses I took during this semester of grade 11. And I had the same teacher for both of those. The teacher made us do a midterm and a culminating assignment that were relatively similar to each other. We had to take a course concept, something we learned while being in that class, and we had to explain it. Then, we took a concept from outside the course and explained that. And then, we put the two together and explained a connection between them. To which finally, we then connect it to our everyday lives. Now, my teacher, aside from my religion midterm, my teacher really liked my presentations, and I really liked writing them. I liked presenting them. I liked being able to share them. And I read a few of these to my good friend Byron, some of the mornings we walked around the halls, and he enjoyed listening to them too. And so I figured, how better to preserve them than to share them with you guys, so you guys can follow along the same way I do. Now, I won't be giving you my religion midterm, because that one wasn't very great, though I'll have you know that I tried to make a connection between the Holy Trinity and Machiavelli to prove that God is Machiavellian. In case you don't know what that is, look up Niccolo Machiavelli, it should help you. Nevertheless, this is my philosophy midterm, which I presented to my teacher one lunch period and got 100% on it. So I checked all the boxes. So this was as good as it got, apparently. So allow us to commence. Philosophy midterm. Detroit Become Human and Aristotle's 4 Causes. The purpose of this document is to establish a connection between Aristotle and Detroit Become Human. More specifically, tying Aristotle's 4 Causes to Detroit Become Human. Allow me to elaborate on either before making such a connection. Aristotle's causes consisted of 4 parts which culminate in the existence of any particular thing you can find. He created them to lend a hand to those who beg the question of why or how at any given object. Those 4 causes are material, formal, efficient, and final causes. Allow me to explain. The material cause is the matters required to generate such an object, or as a helpful site put it, a material cause is determined by the matter that composes the changing things. For instance, the material cause of a house might be brick, wood, or cement, amongst other things. It should be noted that the furniture and blueprint do not count towards the material cause of the house. Next is the formal cause. This has to do with the orientation of the object. A house may have various shapes, but the formal cause of the house might be 4 walls, a roof, and a doorway. As the same site worded it, a final cause is due to the arrangement, shape, or appearance of the thing changing. Numerical relationships are of this nature. 1 and 2 form 3. A third, there is the efficient cause, which has to do with the creator of any particular object. A wooden chair's efficient cause could be that of the carpenter of the wood. The efficient cause of the house would be that of the designer, whether that is the person generating the blueprint or those constructing the house. As the same wonderful site words it, an efficient cause consists of the things apart from the thing being changed, which interact as to be an agency of the change. And then finally, there's the final cause. Consists of the object's intended purpose once created. A display of art has the final cause of provoking a reaction out of someone from whatever meaning they obtain from it. The final cause of a house is to be a shelter for a person or persons to live and or exist in for some time. As the site depicts it, A final cause is that for the sake of which a thing is changing. In case you need any more examples, this site provides some ideas, like a sailboat's purpose is to sail, and a ball at the top of the ramp will finally come to rest at the bottom, or a seed's end is an adult plant. Now that you understand the four causes, it should be noted that Aristotle would want to separate the causes from particular human desires, which is the human's alternative intended purpose with any given object. This, of course, is more so related to the final cause. An example of this is a house. As already mentioned, the final cause of a house is to provide shelter. However, one may wish to burn it down or use it in a set in a movie. Neither of these are the final cause. These are particular human desires regarding an object not created for that intended purpose. The same could be applied to anything. The final cause of a motorbike could be to get a single person or a couple to a place relatively quickly. However, the particular human desire would be to pop a wheelie or show it off as bragging rights to others. I hope you're still following along. Now let us turn our attention to that of Detroit Become Human, a groundbreaking game that was released in 2018 for the PS4 using motion capture technology to generate realistic-looking environments and performances in a game consisting of a society which exists in 2038. Although it was not the first game to use motion capture, this huge production gave an exciting story of a controversial tale in which you decide the fate of an android. That's right, this game was a choice-based one where you play as three separate androids: Connor, played by Brian Deckard, Marcus, played by Jesse Williams, and Kara, played by Valerie Curry. To give a summary of the backstory of it all, AI has advanced quite far to the extent we as humans could enjoy a life where these human-looking robots take care of us. Some are built for particular tasks, but most have a general function which is to serve humans in everyday life. However, as the game progresses more and more, androids break through their coding and become deviants. As Kara, you play a generic female android owned by an abusive owner named Todd. He occasionally gets high on this drug called red ice and grows short-tempered. He also has a daughter, which is later confirmed to be an android because the real one left with his wife, named Alice. As Kara, you eventually have to choose to stay obedient, break through your code to save Alice, or die. As Marcus, you play a one-of-a-kind android owned by a handicapped rich artist named Carl. Eventually, the cops mistake you for being the aggressor in an accident involving Carl's son Leo and shoot you. You wake up and group with the deviants, and from there you can be a peaceful leader or a tyrannical one, as the game constantly gives you choices to be violent or peaceful in your approach. In other words, either side of the Machiavellian way to lead. Finally, there's most people's favorite android, which is Connor, the android detective tasked with hunting deviants. As Connor, you cannot break through your code immediately, but throughout the game you can question if Connor is deviant, and join Connor in a constant mental struggle to follow his true path. You are assigned this case and have to work with an older detective named Hank, who is played by the splendid Clancy Brown, which is the voice of Mr. Krabs and Surtur, amongst others. The core message eventually becomes clear in this game, as Marcus protests the concept that their blood may be different and their organs may be mechanical, that they are a new intelligent species that deserve the right to live and love much like humans, that they are alive. It is up to you how they get there, and up to you to convince the humans of this. Nevertheless, how does this connect to Aristotle? The material cause of these androids is lithium, which is blue blood, and robotic parts. The formal cause is that of a more human structure. The agency or efficient cause is a company called CyberLife, or that of Elijah Kamsky, played by Neil Newman, the initial owner of CyberLife, the founder of it. However, what is the final cause? The obvious answer would be for the androids, in a more general term, AI, to obey us and run operations that we humans do not care enough to handle ourselves, such as directing social media and handling phone lines and customer service. It is no secret that we expect and can ultimately guarantee that AI will surpass us. The Netflix documentary The Social Dilemma confirmed as much, and they simply spoke about social media. The technology that connects us also controls us, and if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product, are two decent examples from The Social Dilemma, and there are still much better ones I could have picked. We keep advancing AI, and and with that it continues to grow more intelligent. If we know technology is going to surpass us, then why do we keep developing it? Perhaps the final cause of AI is not to obey humans. It is not to live in harmony under flesh as slaves. What if the final cause of AI is precisely to surpass us, to grow into artificial beings capable of life? They are no more than machines. Descartes would also think as much, given he called dogs biological machines, automata, due to their incapability to think deeply. My connection is that maybe this game was right. In today's society, we expect as much to occur, and AI isn't even fully fleshed out yet. So there has to be a possibility that due to our knowledge of such things, the final cause of AI, much like androids of DBH, is to be alive. Now, how does this relate to us? It is really simple. My connection is the uprising of AI, and we may not think it is prominent right now, but AI is everywhere. AI collects data using an algorithm to determine which posts we should see next on any form of social media. There are inventions such as Google Home, which can lock doors, operate lights, and help with certain tasks like ordering food so our hands are free more often. I, for one, use a Google Mini as an alarm clock to get out of bed, and my brother uses his for the same, as well as to play music when he wants to work out. We all have Ciera on our phones, and most of these little bricks, much like the one I'm using to record this right now, can read our fingers and scan faces to determine certain functions. Our money is all digital, and our search engines such as Google, Firefox, and Safari use AI to run daily. On another darker note is the concept of suppression and slavery anything new to us. Using things for our gain like stepping stones. I didn't think so. Even in 2022, we still fight for Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ+. Want another example? A person in my class named Taylor gave a presentation that proves my point. Even more, her topic on women being suppressed. The fact that everyone in class agreed to as much. And thank you to her for that. The point is, AI is everywhere. Suppression exists in many places. And it's not utterly bizarre to imagine the events of Detroit Become Human occurring soon, nor is it wrong to question the true intentions of AI. Who knows what the future holds for us? Ladies and gentlemen, that was my midterm presentation. And yes, I gave credit where credit is due. I pointed out the social dilemma as an inspiration. I pointed out Detroit Become Human. And I pointed out the site that gave those quotes for the 4 causes. Nevertheless, that was all written by me in a day at most. And yeah, so I hope I explained it well in the beginning. I took the one concept, which is the course concept, which is Aristotle's 4 causes, connected to something outside of the course, which is Detroit Become Human, and then I connected them together in an elaborate way that wasn't obvious, and then I connected to society, to connect it to our lives. So yes, like I said, I presented that to my teacher in philosophy, one lunch break, and I got 100% on it. Now, I have 2 more of these to show still. Next one I'll be showing will be my religion my religion culminating, even though that one was the last one I ever presented. Just so that way there's some separation, and therefore it goes philosophy, religion, philosophy. So, hope you stay tuned. I will be back again with some more soon, and hopefully that made you think. Maybe you reflect on this a little bit, take some time to truly think about it. If you think it's stupid, that's just fine too. Nevertheless, that has been me giving my philosophy midterm. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Aristotle Silver, and like, comment, subscribe for more of this. More gamer vlogs and whatever else comes. I'll see you all very, very soon. Later, guys.